Qualifying continues. This is Berserk, driven by Tommy Killingsworth. Tommy is from Macomb, Mississippi. And he'll be going against Clay Langley from Kansas City with the Nitro Express. Big wing over the Nitro Express. We're just about ready to go. And real close to that disqualification line.
Boy, both of them. Clay Langley, as we see here on the replay, had a good run going at 2.89 seconds. The winningest racer in the history of U.S. Association mud racing stops just short of that boundary. Here in the 1932 Ford Coupe with fuel-injected Chevrolet power. Watch him get on the brakes. Yeah, you bet. Not locking him up, though. Man knows how to drive, cutting him within inches down there.
All right, next up, it's going to be the Terminator, driven by Chuck Jacobs from New Orleans. He'll be going against the Bounty Hunter, driven by Buddy Kuhn of Kentwood, Louisiana.
It's an interesting pair of machines. Kuhn with a basically stock Chevy truck. Then, of course, the machine in the far lane as radical as they come. Both machines bog at one point or another on that course. Kuhn with the big full-body Chevrolet truck engines to come from behind. Watch this launch. Right there at bogs, he grits his teeth, gets right back into the throttle. The elapsed time, though, for the full-body Chevy, 3 seconds flat, not good enough to get into quick four. You had to run quicker than 2.84 seconds at this point. And the Bounty Hunter will not make it into the Camel Shootout semifinals. In the other lane, Chuck Jacobs in the Terminator from New Orleans. The beautiful 89 Chevy S10 had its problems at mid-range. He slows to a 4.23-second run. Not nearly as fast as it looks, Jerry.
Well, qualifying continues here at the Louisiana Superdome. We got lots more mud and monster racing action yet to go, so stay with us. Back to the U.S. Hot Rod Association Mud and Monster Racing Championships, brought to you in part by Kicker, high-performance automotive speakers by Stillwater Design. Next pair of qualifiers coming up, it's going to be Bubba Clements from Atlanta, Texas, with a 429 cubic inch Ford. He'll be going against Perry Couch from Moss Point, Mississippi, with the Crazy Falcon. Track record here at the Superdome is 2.11 seconds.
And he stops it in time to boot as the Falcon finally makes it across the finish line. Bubba Clements, the veteran campaigner with the all-aluminum Ford-powered Jeep, puts down a beauty. You can see the problems right off the line for the original all-steel body Ford Falcon, slowing to a 4.35-second elapsed time, bouncing all over the place doing it. But in the other lane, Bubba Clements was on a blast. It's got to be close to that track mark you just spoke of, Jerry. Look at the starting line launch. The tire speed was the key. Up on top of the mud all the way through. 2.12 seconds. 100th of a second off that track mark set last year. #1 qualifier.
A great run. This will be Double Trouble, driven by Don Lemke. He's from Netherlands, Texas. Powered by a 454 Chevrolet. He'll be going against Larry Jarrett. He is the defending champion here at the Superdome from Perry, Oklahoma, in a 468 blown Chevrolet. Easing it up to the line. Here we go.
I'll tell you what, Jerry, you could see that Larry Jarrett was more concerned about going out of bounds in the shutdown area than he really was about putting down a superior elapsed time. You can see the Double Trouble machine, not a bad effort at all, with a pretty decent tire speed, recording an elapsed time of 2.46 seconds. That would have gotten in had it not been for the run in the other lane. Now watch the finish line. The locomotion machine actually shut down before the finish line to try and stay away from those yellow camel disqualification boundaries. His 2.29-second run will get him in the quick four, at least for now.
Well, here we go. Qualifying continues with Hot Stuff, driven by Ron Reed of Meriden, Mississippi. He'll be going against All Blown Out, driven by Steve Balthazar of Rhode Island.
That supercharged Ford-powered Ranger is in only its second event. On the other lane, the brand new hot stuff with an extremely high center of gravity had some problems at mid-range, 2.97 seconds. That won't get him into the final four, but Balthazar was right there. Again, look at the wheel speed. That's the key in this sport, to stay on top of the mud, 2.14 seconds. And that means the number 1 and number 2 qualifiers are Ford-powered.
Well, we've got one more to go. This will be Hyperactive, driven by Darren Matthews. This will round out qualifying.
Well, not a bad run for Darren Matthews in the Hyperactive machine. He had to go quicker than 2.43 seconds to bump Dick Wilson out of the field. You could see the ruts off the starting line really slowing him down. And the elapsed time, 2.70 seconds for the driver who did so well here 1 year ago. The Hyperactive machine will not be in the Camel Quick 4 Shootout. I'll tell you what, Jerry, we've got 4 absolute killers here. 4 machines within 29 thousandths of a second, led by Bubba Clements, the Texas chances are supercharged Ford. He'll be taking on Florida's Dick Wilson in the 18 machine, a past national event winner in his own right in a Ford and Chevy match. Then Steve Balthazar's incredible new Ford Ranger, all blown out, the number 2 qualifier, and the number 4 driver, the one and only locomotion that, of course, is powered by Chevrolet, the defending event champion. It's going to be wild. One thing that's definitely wild is the crowd that is here at the Superdome in New Orleans again, Jerry, for, I believe, the 5th straight event now in the 1990 U.S. Hobbit Association Camel Tour. We've got a near-capacity group of people watching this event.
Well, it surely is. And get your pencils and paper ready, because we're going to tell you a little bit later how you can be a part of the U.S. Hot Rod Association. Stay with us. Coming up, first round of the Monster Trucks. We'll be right
back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Superdome in New Orleans as the U.S. Hot Rod Association Championship Mud Racing and Monster Truck Battle is about to begin. I'm Bret Kepner, along with Jerry Devine. We have completed qualifying, and now it's first round of Monster Truck action, Jerry.
First truck coming up, it's going to be Bigfoot, driven tonight by John Pant. John is the low qualifier in tonight's event, so he gets the single bye run.
Crowd definitely seems to like that solo effort, and of course John Payne trying to see how close he can come to a qualifying effort of 4.74 seconds. There you see that new bump that has already affected the racing quite a bit. At 4.88 seconds, though, Jerry, he looks like he's doing plenty strong. Beautiful leap there.
He certainly made a hard charge on that single run. He really didn't have to run it that hard, but he did it anyway, putting it on a great show for the people here at the Superdome.
Like I said, at 4.88 seconds, he's got his work cut out for him.